guys, this Misty Minute is about watching your words and be careful of the bait and switch. Now, I'm going to talk about something that specifically happened to me here in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm going to use her name because she's a public figure and you might have heard of her. Her name is Serena Cha-Cha. Now, I'm going to use her for an example because everyone's familiar with the situation of what happened with her on TV. She was a little drag queen from Tallahassee who just started drag and was very boisterous on her episode. And when she was kicked off, I think she was the second one to go home, and as soon as she left RuPaul's Drag Race, she moved here to Fort Lauderdale, and I've become friends with her in real life. She's performed in my show many times, I've worked with her at other events, and she's an entertainer here in South Florida. Now, the reason I'm going to talk about the bait and switch is because I was recently with Serena Cha-Cha, and she's like, girl, I want to talk to you about what you said about me. And I'm like, what are you talking about, girl? Anybody that knows me knows that I'm not afraid to tell you exactly what I said. I'm not afraid to tell you why I said it, because I learned a long time ago that the gay bar, people twist things. And that is what I'm going to talk about today, the bait and switch. She brought up a situation where somebody was saying I was saying something, and the key is, yes, I've talked about Serena Cha-Cha several times, but I've never told anybody what I have not told Serena Cha-Cha to her face. As soon as I saw her on the episode, I was working with her at an event, and I told her, I'm like, girl, you know, she was mortified of how she was portrayed on TV, and I said, girl, don't beat yourself up so much. You played a role for them, they needed a burger queen, and you were that burger queen. Girls like Alaska, who'd been auditioning for 5 years in a row, finally made it. You auditioned after you just started doing drag, and oh my god, you're amazing, you're very talented, you're fierce, you're fabulous. Guess what? You auditioned your first time and you made it. So of course you're gonna think that you're amazing, and possibly more amazing than Alaska, who has been auditioning for 5 years in a row. I don't blame her for thinking that. I've also talked about how her makeup has gotten so much better since the show, blah, 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 blah. So if somebody brings up the name, oh, I can't believe, and oftentimes people will talk about her attitude, which I don't think has changed since the show. But somebody's like, oh my god, she thinks she's amazing now that she's on TV. The key is, somebody told her that I was saying things about her that is very, very close to her. And my thing to her was, Mama, be careful of the people that are close to you, because the only thing I've ever said about you, ever, is something I've already said to your face, first of all. And second of all, the only time I've ever talked about you is because somebody was trashing you, and I was defending you to them. Saying, yeah, it wasn't her fault. Yeah, she didn't have boobs on in the show, but she's come a long way. She's really learned, she's really grown. So if somebody's going to run up to her and tell her that I'm talking shit about her when I'm defending her, that's the key. And that was like, oh my god, that's a good Misty Minute. Because the gay community is notorious for the bait and switch. They're going to say, oh my gosh, look at that fucking bitch, so-and-so. And they're going to bait you to talk about so-and-so. And then they're going to run up, and they could possibly run up and say, oh, I heard so-and-so was talking about you because they said this, this, this. Leaving out that they baited you and they trashed you for 20 minutes. So, girls, be careful of the bait and switch. And also, more importantly, what I learned a long time ago, be prepared to say exactly what you said about somebody, because it might get thrown into your face and it might get translated incorrectly. Be like, girl, that is not what I said. What I really said was, and it might not be something you're proud to say, but be prepared to say it. And I guess that's the bottom line. Be careful of bait and switches, but most importantly, don't ever say something about somebody publicly you're not prepared to say to their face. That was a Misty Minute. Loving you, Cece.